Right then, so this is a video just to show you that animation fundamentals rigs I've created, and they're available on Superhive. You can get a package deal of all 5 rigs for $20, or you can buy them separately for $5 each. Obviously, if you buy all 5, you'll save 20%. So yeah, this one's called Didi. I just wanted to quickly run you through the files. So basically, you know what's what. So it's just a standard rig there. Obviously, we go into pose mode here. You've got your master controller. This is pretty much just a set and forget kind of thing. That you'll move that to where you want it in your scene, and then you can animate it. You've got your main control body there, which moves everything. You got your blink control. Obviously, if this was kind of a bouncing ball, you got to scale it. Your squash and stretch. Now, as I say, there's a blink. You can move the eye around for your eye darts. So yeah, it's perfect really for learning animation. And in any of these scenes, if you hit F12, you can just bring up a render in cycles. I've just set up a 3-point lighting. If you wanted to do like a basic, as I say, render, and you can do that as well. Just let that render out. So I've set it to 4096 samples. So yeah, you can render that out. Everything's nice and clean in here. Nice clean values. You got nice clean outliner. You got your collection here. Your armature, your body, your eye. You can hide that. If you bring up your lights and camera, you can see the 3-point lighting there. As I say, you can just hit F12 if you want to render it. And there is something there. If we just zoom in, this is just used like kind of for a beauty render that I've put on all the files really. So if you go ahead and animate, you'll want to hide that really from the camera and view. It's just like a specular highlight for the eye for when you render it. May be useful, may not be, but I'll put it in there anyway so you can hide the lights and camera. So yeah, that's Didi. Let's open the next one. You've got Olli. Bit more to this one, really. You got if we go into pose mode, he's got a bit of a facial expression on this one, like surprise there. It's a driven key on this. I set up a shape key and hooked it up to a controller, so you got surprise, you've got worried, scared, sad, and then just a angry kind of expression. So yeah, he's got a pretty decent little rig, Olli. Again, you've got your master controller here, set and forget. You can move that into place, and you got your body controls for animating. Again, if you want to scale it for squash and stretch, you got your eye controls here. That's for both of them. Or you can move the eyes separately. And then this one's a bit of a different blink. You can just rotate that. Blink. So yeah, cool little rig, Olli. I like Olli. Let's just Alt-R and Alt-G reset it. So that's the Olli rig. And again, if you hit F12, you can get a beauty render. Again, I've set up little specular highlights on the eyes. It's more of a cartoony kind of thing if you want to do a beauty render. Samples are set to 4096. And again, nice clean collection. We've set up the 3-point lights, and as I said there, it just says for a static render, the little specular things. It's not connected to anything that, so you're best to probably hide that if you're going to be doing some animation and rendering. So yeah, nice and clean. That's Olli. Then we've got Olli. Bit of a different kind of bit of a strange one really, but we go into pose mode. You've got your blink controls for each of your eyes there. It's the bottom one, I believe. Obviously this one. There, your blink controls. And then I'd say this is more sort of, there's your master control again for set and forget. I'd say this would be a great one for learning about drag and overlap, this will. Because say for example, if you move to your right, this will drag to the left. And you can create some nice C curves and S curves as he excuse me, moves and stuff. Alt R, Alt G. So yeah, I think that'd be really good for learning overlap. Again, you've got your eyes as well as your blinks I've shown you. So you can have some nice little eye darts in there. You could have just a basic little idle. Like I say, the most useful thing for this, I think, could be for learning overlap. Again, it's got your cartoony sort of specular highlight in there. Just come out of pose mode. We can hit F12 again. And that'll give you your 3-point lighting beauty render. So that's Olli. That's the Olli Rig, that is. So we'll just let it render out. So yeah, I think that would be good for learning a bit of learning all the principles really, but definitely good for drag and overlap. So that's Olli. Let's just look at the next one. Kiki. More of a flying one, Kiki's. Let's just go. You got everything in a nice clean collection as well. Again, your lights and your cameras. 3-point lighting with your specular highlight for the eyes. If we go into pose mode on this, really good for creating like a flight cycle. And what I'm going to do on all these rigs, I shall be creating animations for these. I'll be animating all these and show you how to do it. Obviously purchasing these rigs will be really helpful. Your 3D animation journey. Again, let's just go through this. You've got your master control. Your control there for moving everything. You've got our nice blink controls in there. There's a master control for all the eyes on that. You can also move them separately as well. Moving them separately. I believe that's a blink for the middle eye there. I've set up a bone constraint so it doesn't go through the eye. It's limited. Yeah, I think that'd be good, that. For learning more creature stuff. Let's just reset that back. Let's hit F12 again. You can get yourself a beauty render on that. Just one of the things on Superhive, it says to set up a... It's one of the things you gotta do. You can hit F12 and set up a render. So yeah, your 3-point lights, that's Kiki. So the last one, I believe, is Regi. And I like old Regi. Let's go into pose mode. There's your eye. Use that for your eye darts. Quirky little rig. This guy is, I like him. We'll do a nice little walk cycle with this one. So you got your legs there, so we'll do a walk cycle. IK control there. And get a bit of hip movement in there. Trying to do a little dance. Again, there's your master controller. Move everything. As I say, that's your IK. You got a control on this one for breathing as well. So if you put X there, we could have breathing, and I've limited the there. So yeah, that's Regi. Again, he's got his lights and camera with his specular highlight on the eye. Blink control. One thing I will just mention is I've tested it. There's a little jiggle back there as well, just to create a bit of interest on the blink, which is done by design. But one thing I'll just mention is that there's a little plug-in which you might need, just for the blink, and it separates. It's a hollow pixel, and it separates the blink X, Y, and Z. Because if we look at our driver, it blinks in a Bezier fashion with that plug-in, instead of in a linear fashion. If it was linear, it'd cut through the eye, but with that plug-in, just it lets you separate the X, Y, and Z. But I have actually tested it without the plugin and it works, but just in case you run into any problems, there's a link in the documents just to download that plugin so it doesn't cut through the eyeball, basically. So let's just Alt-R and Alt-G on that. It's just a hollow pixel plugin, so shout out to that guy. So yeah, that's the animation fundamentals rigs. We'll just F12 on all of them. As I say, you can get yourself a beauty render just by hitting F12. I've cranked up the samples to 4096. And you've got your bone collections here, in case you need to see any deformed bones and stuff. Or just hide them deformed bones. Don't need them. So that is the animation fundamentals rigs, and they're absolutely, everything's nice and clean. Nice clean rigs, weights, values, all in collections here, 3-point lighting. And they're perfect really for learning animation, learning the 12 principles of animation. And on my channel, I'm going to be doing a lot of animations in the future, walk cycles, jumps, runs, idles. I'm going to be using these rigs. So they're a really good price. I mean, $20 for 5 rigs. Good value for money. They're all textured as well, unwrapped. Manifold geometry, nice clean geometry as you can see. Quads on all of the rigs. So I'd recommend downloading them, and if you need a character for your game or your film, anything like that, you can use them commercially as well. As long as you just credit me, Jimmy Mole Digital. You can use them commercially if you want. So yeah, that's the animation fundamentals rigs, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace. See you soon. God bless.